Happy Sunday. Hello, hello. I hope everybody's having a fabulous day. Oh, goodness. Let's see. I made some changes, which you guys will see as you start filtering in. Let's see what do we got going on this week. Not much, really. At least I don't. Let me hide that stuff. I don't want that visible right now. Okay, perfect. So, there you go, Faye. Did it pop up? I didn't see it pop up. Did it actually pop up on the screen, though? I didn't see it. Let me do it again. Well, it's not going to charge you again. I'm just replaying the alert. Oh, yeah. There it is. Okay, good. Good. Excellent. Thank you very much, Faye. Very much appreciated. Happy Sunday. I do want to replay Darknesses from yesterday because his didn't go through either. So when he pops in, I'll replay his as well. Let's see. Okay, so we have the giveaway thing still going when I reach 150 followers. I'm at 99 right now, by the way. So if there happens to be somebody lurking that's thinking about following, you could slap the follow. That'd be very much appreciated. So when I hit 150 followers or 50 subs, then the plan is I will be giving away a copy of Endwalker, the expansion coming out in November for Final Fantasy. I'm going to start posting like updates for the giveaway on Twitter or in Discord just to know where our numbers are and stuff like that and how close we are to getting it. So !Discord or !Twitter to follow or hop into the Discord. Let's see. I made some more changes with the alerts and stuff like that, which you guys have already heard. One of them, the resub sound is now, Final Fantasy sound. So I changed some of the other sound alerts that you could buy with channel points. I added a whole bunch of channel point stuff yesterday. And I added Archer, which wasn't in there yesterday either. I added all of the crafting professions and the gathering professions as well. So that's all in there. I added the BDE one that we talked about the other day, which a lot of people seem to really, really want that one. Let's see, what else? I think that's it as far as updates from me. Yep, that's it. Okay, so we're just going to jump into the story and just trot along. So we're supposed to go see Sir Amaric at the Congregation of the Knights Most Heavenly before we start looking for our friends again.
Thank you for coming. I wish to speak with you both in a place where privacy was assured.
We quite understand. What was it that you wished to discuss?
Some more planning, I presume.
With my father's passing, the seat of the Archbishop lies vacant. And so, in accordance with canon law, I have assumed his responsibilities.
Ooh, that's a lot.
I should stress that this is a temporary measure. It was never intended that the Lord Commander of the Temple Knights serve in this capacity indefinitely. Quite the opposite. The statutes specify that I should surrender my powers as soon as a conclave of the senior clergy and the high houses have named a new archbishop. But in light of recent events, that would not seem appropriate.
I guess not.
I confess I did not expect you to divulge quite so much quite so soon. The details of the Archbishop's plans, perhaps, but the true origin of the war and all it entails?
I too had concerns. But when the Warrior of Light is witnessed returning to the capital upon the back of a dragon, one's options are rather limited.
I suppose they are.
Mayhap I could have concealed certain details, but for how long? And at what risk? Should the truth have come to light in the meantime, how would the people have viewed my silence?
You might as well just go ahead and rip off that band-aid and announce it.
1,000 years of lies and secrecy. I could not well abuse their trust and hope to be believed. The time for deception has passed. I only wish the people agreed. That some would deny the truth I had anticipated, but not this many. And among the few who acknowledged that my father had to be stopped, no small number questioned our methods.
They're never happy, no matter what you do.
If they suspect a coup, it will not be long before some turn to violence.
It has already begun, and that on both sides. Men and women of the cloth are being harassed in the streets. Some have even been assaulted in the broom. Hilda
It's getting
and her
real.
people have formed a watch to help us maintain order. But such measures will not prevent the unrest from spreading.
For all our talk of peace, the people remain frightened and confused. For their sake, we must bring the Dragonsong War to a definitive end.
Yep, we do. We do.
And we should be glad to help you, Sir Emmerich. But what precisely would you have us do?
We're like right on the edge of ending it, though, aren't we?
We wish to treat with the dragons of Annex Trine. To that end, I would trouble you for an escort and an introduction.
Annex Trine? You would speak with Vidofnir then?
Ooh.
We must needs open a dialogue between our peoples. Acting as my representative, Lucia will extend an invitation to their leader, that she might visit us here in Ishgard. Were she still with us, I would of course have beseeched Isel's assistance in this matter. But as she is not, I must ask that you aid us in her stead. Will you do us this favor?
Do we really have a choice?
Thank you, my friends.
Ooh, we friends now.
Lucia, I leave the rest to you.
In the wake of the Archbishop's fall, the nation of Ishgard trembled, the faith of her people shaken to its very core. For 1,000 years had they fought and died, certain of the justice of their cause, only to be told that their holy war was born of the sins of their forefathers. What then for those brave men and women, thus stripped of their righteousness but to despair, to deny the truth and decry its speakers?
Mm-hmm. Rightfully so.
And
That
what
Emmy?
then for those whom they defamed but to hope on, to have faith in a brighter tomorrow? A tomorrow in which man and dragon might live together in harmony, then as distant as the very stars in the heavens. Yet while we dared to hope, deep within his lair the enemy lay, gathering his strength.
Oh boy. Of course he is.
Nidhogg, now possessed of his 2 eyes and the body of the Azure Dragoon, prizes to which he had laid claim at the very hour of the hero's triumph.
Poor Estinian.
As desperately as we sought the solace of peace, the great worm craved the misery of war. Nor was he alone in his misbegotten desire.
I hope we can bring him back. I really hope we can bring him back. Alright, Lucia. I know little of the lands these dragons call home, this annexed shrine. Have you not agreed to escort me, the coming journey would seem a far more daunting prospect. I confess, I myself once shuddered at the thought of it. Yet even the longest journey begins with the first step, does it not? But ere we set forth, Fire and I must needs inform our comrade of our plans. Very well, I shall see to my preparations. Then let us go and bid farewell to Tataru, Fire. My goodness, we're never gonna go look for Minfilia and all them. Ever. We keep getting delayed. Every time we get like a little piece of information, like a little nugget, telling us like, oh my god, your friends, this one might be okay. Or we found this little evidence here that they made it. And we're like, okay, let's go. They stop us. Oh, she's at the bar. Tataru's always at the bar. Where is the bar? It is by here. I was literally already over there. Hey girl, we're going out again. So what was your secret meeting all about? I'm all ears. Well, we're gonna go, talk to the dragons. A diplomatic mission to annex Trine, you say? Well, I suppose that does take precedence. But should your meeting with Vidofnir happen to end early, you might consider rendezvousing with Y'shtola in Idleshire. She'll be there to receive our guest. Don't get me wrong, your meeting with the dragons is terribly important and everything, but this scholar just happens to be... Time permitting, as I said, we shall endeavor to join Y'shtola, but if we cannot, pray, pass on our regards. Let us be off, Fire. We have kept the first commander waiting long enough. It's literally been 30 seconds, Alphino. Literally. Way to be so short with her, too, after she gave you that nice little outfit you got. I didn't get no outfit. Still. Like 4 days later. You're ready then? Good. So am I. I'll take the hot chocolate, please. The path is long but known to us. From Falcon's Nest, we shall cross the Western Highlands and make for Tailfeather in the Dravanian Forelands. There we can stop to rest and replenish our supplies. Questions? If not, then the stables await. Outside of Tailfeather. I do believe I can fly there now. Oh my god, look at that mount. Woo! That is a beautiful mount. I always imagined that the first time I set foot upon Dravanian soil would be at the head of an army. And here I am, ready to treat with the brothers and sisters of mine enemies. Full well do I know how difficult it can be to set aside the past, though it was I who first proposed recruiting Ysael to our cause. I questioned the wisdom of my words almost as soon as I had uttered them, and for a long time after that. Here was a woman with the blood of innocence on her hands, men, women, children, all slain in the name of the implacable Lady Iceheart. Yet she acknowledged her misdeeds and agreed to join us in common cause. At our side, she fought in service to the greater good, even unto her dying breath. And while that does not absolve her of her sins, I hope that one day she'll be remembered not merely as a heretic, but as a misguided soul who dreamt of peace. You ask much, Master Alphino. Yet who can say what might come to pass should our negotiations bear fruit? Yes, of course. We must press on to Annex Trine, if you will follow me. Back into Tailfeather, I guess? Oh no, over there. I suppose I could have just done this. Are we going upstairs? Can I just go up this way? Instead of running up those god-awful stairs. It looks like that is not an option. Well, damn it. Not high enough. Oh, damn, there was a way. Well, shit. Vidofnir? Thou art ever welcome here, friend of Ysael. But this one I do not know. Pray, forgive us this unannounced visit to Vidofnir. May I present to you Lucia, first commander of the Temple Knights of Ishgard, and our trusted friend. I just now realized how huge she is. And it is an honor to meet you, Vidofnir. I am come as envoy of Sir Amaric, Lord Commander of the Temple Knights, and acting leader of the Holy See. Indeed, you may speak, knight. For 1,000 years, man and dragon have been locked in an endless cycle of bloodshed and sorrow. To our shame, we long believed your kin to be the architects of this war, but now we know the truth, that King Thoradin and his knights 12 did willfully betray and murder the great Radatasker, shattering the peace between our peoples. For 1,000 years, our leaders conspired to conceal this truth. A truth which was at last laid bare by the Warrior of Light, the Azure Dragoon, and Ysael. Alas, a deception so intricately wrought cannot be undone in a moment, and our people labor to accept the truth. After an eternity of war, who would dare to dream that peace could at last be within our grasp? Yet dream we must, as Ysael did, and we must make that dream a reality as she could not. We humbly beseech you, Vidofnir, join hands with us in friendship once more before the eyes of my people in Ishgard. A most unexpected invitation. I have heard your request, knight. However, I cannot yet give you mine answer. May I ask why? This matter concerneth my sire. He must needs be consulted. Moreover, the Nath grow bold, even as they did before. I would not leave my people at the mercy of the swarm. Then we'll wait. After 1,000 years at war, we shall not give up on peace for want of patience. Fear not, knight. Thou shalt have my answer within thy lifetime. So soon? My humble thanks. I shall bear your words to my lord forthwith, until we meet again. Within your lifetime. But a blink for the dragon. Given the circumstances, I would say that went rather well. To be frank, I'm surprised our proposal was not rejected outright. Whether aught will come of it remains to be seen, however. Mayhap I should take this opportunity to speak with some of the other dragons. But you need not wait for me. The return journey holds no fears for me now. Well, if you have no further need of our services, we shall continue on to Charlayan. We hope to welcome a scholar who has agreed to aid us in the search for our missing comrades. Finally! Then I pray your journey is as swift and uneventful as ours was, and thank you again for sparing the time to assist us, even when such grave matters remain unresolved. I can think of no graver matter than 1,000-year war, one which our friends gave their lives to see ended. Suffice it to say, I would willingly make 1,000 such journeys to ensure that their sacrifice was not in vain. Of that I have no doubt, Master Alphino. I only hope the fates will not hold you to your word. That's right, we lost Ysael, Archivant, technically Estinian, kinda, sorta. So it would seem we have time to greet this scholar after all. How delightful. I shall be interested to hear how she means to go about finding Minfilia and Thancred. I can only assume she is privy to some new investigative technique. In any event, our first order of business is to rendezvous with Shola in Idleshire. Let's go and find our friends. Oh, I can't fly here. Bummer. That's fine. Ishtola! Ah, Fire, 'tis good to see you. I confess I had assumed your business in Annex Trine would detain you longer. Did your meeting with Vidofnir go well? As well as could be expected. She must discuss Sir Emmerich's proposal with Harass Valgar. Of course, but she seemed amenable to the suggestion. What of our Charlayan guest? Has she arrived yet? She has, but when I explained that you would be joining us, she asked if she might use the intervening time to explore. I agreed to meet her outside on the front bridge. We should be on our way. Whoops. Oh my god, those mounts. Look at them! God, they're so freaking pretty. She's so tiny.
I'm terribly, terribly sorry to have kept you all waiting.
You need not apologize. We arrived but a moment ago ourselves. pray, allow me to introduce Kryle, who has recently come from the Sharlayan motherland. She has generously offered to assist us.
Oh, please, think nothing of it. A trip to Eorzea was long overdue.
She's so
You must
cute.
be the warrior of light. Yes, you certainly do look the part. A pleasure to meet you at last, miss. And who is that I spy but young Alpha No Levieux himself? I dare say someone's grown in Ilmore too in my absence. Or are those lifts in your boots?
Oh my goodness.
We, Miss Kryle and I met at the Studium years ago. I shall forever be indebted to her for her sage guidance.
Oh, they know each other.
It was no small task keeping him out of trouble, believe you me. The youngest ever to enter the Studium, him and his sister, 11-year-old prodigies.
And they're what, 15 now?
Suffice it to say, social graces were not among his list of talents. Striding up to his seniors on his first day, head held high. What was it he said again?
Oh god, something embarrassing.
Thank you, Kryle.
It was definitely
Well,
something
I haven't
embarrassing.
finished yet. Would you care to attempt a more dexterous deflection?
Mayhap we should save this delightful conversation for a more fitting occasion, when pressing matters do not demand our undivided attention.
A bit much, but better.
He
I can
embarrassed.
tell you have been putting your skills to use here in Eorzea. Henceforth, I trust you will dazzle me with your eloquence at the first time of asking.
I wonder what stupid
On to
shit
more
he did.
pressing matters. Finding Minfilia and the other missing scions.
Yes,
I gather
finally.
you have new information to share with us.
A new approach, actually. Tataru recounted the tale of your escape, and it gave me an idea.
What's the idea, girl?
Assuming Thancred left some manner of trail when you whisked him away, as is almost always the case with teleportation magics, I am confident I can find and follow it.
Then what are you waiting for?
Exactly, like, let's go.
The wherewithal to do it. The fact is, my abilities aren't quite up to the task. Not in themselves, anyway. If I had Master Matoya's crystal eye, on the other hand...
Then let us all call on her forthwith. I think it best that you explain your plan to her in person.
God, we gotta go back to that lady. I wonder if my earring ever gets caught on stuff, like when I'm getting dressed and stuff like that. Ooh, I could fly now. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I went and unlocked flying everywhere in all of the new zones yesterday. So I could fly literally everywhere. Although I don't have these places obviously unlocked yet. Somebody was in the chat yesterday and they were talking about how they did not unlock flying yet. And man, you play a whole different game once you have it again. So if you're playing, it's worth go get it. Find all those damn aether currents and do all those little questies and just get it over with. That mount. You did say we were headed for a cave, did you not? Because I certainly don't see a cave nearby. Is Master Matoya meeting us on the way or something? No, girl. You gotta go click that little glowy orb. I have so heard many stories of Master Matoya. Some quite flattering, others less so. Rest assured they are all true. This way, and have care where you tread. Excuse me. I like her hat. I want her hat.
Oh, is that trouble I smell? Or did you forget to wipe your boots on the way in?
Oh my goodness, so rude.
Forgive us, Master Matoya. We will be sure to wipe them on the way out. And may I say how glad I am that age has not yet deprived you of your senses.
We just saw her though, girl.
Ever so quick-witted, aren't we? To the detriment of your manners. Well, out with it then. What do you want?
Pray, allow me to introduce myself, Master Matoya. I am Kryl, of the students of Baldessian. I hope you will excuse our unannounced visit.
She won't.
Baldessian, you say? Ah, yes. The old coot set up shop on the Isle of Val, didn't he?
He sure did.
Regrettably, our order's headquarters and the isle itself were obliterated by a magic of immense power. I have the blessing of light to thank for my own preservation.
Kryl, you too possess the Echo.
A lot of people possess the Echo.
Well, yes, of course I do. Our order is devoted to uncovering the mysteries of Hydaelyn and interpreting her will, particularly through the study of her gift to us. It was in the course of these studies that I met and subsequently befriended Minfilia. She and I have rather a lot in common.
I had no idea.
You weren't supposed to. Not that I wanted to deceive you, you understand, but precautions had to be taken.
Yes, yes, that's all well and good, but you still haven't told me why you're here.
The students of Baldessian are gone, and there is naught I can do to change that. But the science of the Seventh Dawn can yet be restored, and my dear friend found. You have in your possession an ancient crystal of light, one you call your crystal eye. I believe I can use it to focus my abilities and locate one of the missing scions.
That'd be great.
And there I was, thinking you might want to make use of my years of experience. Oh, wait here.
Long did I ponder the nature of this crystal and its familiar radiance. But never did I suspect it was a crystal of light.
It looks just like a ball. An oddly shaped ball.
On the cusp of an umbral calamity, souls blessed with the power of the Echo invariably appear. To aid these, her chosen warriors, Hydaelyn bequeaths to each a slither of her strength in the form of a crystal of light. But as her strength wanes, so too does the potency of her gifts. This crystal, born of an earlier era, is infused with a power far greater than those of this age.
Oh, jeez.
You could travel the length and breadth of the land and not find a crystal even a fraction as pure. Its value is beyond measure, as are the risks inherent in its use.
No two manifestations of the Echo are alike. I, for example, can converse with beings of every shape and size, excepting beasts, contrary to what others would have you believe. Language has nothing to do with it, of course. Rather, I am sensitive to the whispers of the soul. Their intent, their very essence even, the traces of which serve to guide the elementals to Y'shtola. Far-fetched though it may sound.
Oops. Let's find them.
Well, the poor sod's not going to find himself. So, as long as you don't drop it or take it out of my sight, you may do with it what you will.
Thank you, Master Matoya.
I forgot to turn on my game sound. Get back
Then
up.
let us begin.
I'm gonna have to do that.
black shroud. The trail continues to the north and west, towards a mountain, the foot of Som Al. It was a near thing, but he was not deposited within the rock. I think.
The hunters of Tailfeather know those lands well. I say we begin our search there.
Yep, let's do it. Let's go. Alright, I'm gonna turn the game sounds back up. I turn them down when I'm playing by myself. There we go. That's much better. Outside Tailfeather. Looking for a bard. Were I to find myself in unfamiliar wilderness, my first instinct would be to seek out signs of civilization. Ordinarily, perhaps, but in his wounded state, he may not have wished to risk contact with strangers of unknown allegiance. Yet, even had Thancred chosen to remain in the forest, the hunters would surely have stumbled across his trail. Tailfeather doesn't strike me as an isolated outpost, though. Merchants and traders pass through reasonably regularly, do they not? In which case, we'll need to provide a more detailed description when we question the locals. Fear not, Kryl. I've already prepared several sketches of Thancred for that very purpose. This is impressive. You drew him from memory? A skill I acquired some years ago for reasons I no longer remember. I propose we split into two pairs. Y'shtola and I will inquire at the outlying encampments, while Fire and Kryl question the residents of Tailfeather. Afterwards, we shall regroup near Loth Ast Vath and share our findings. Assuming there are no objections, let us be about it. That's right, let's go, let's go. My, he certainly has matured, hasn't he? Hard to imagine. He was once a boy who practiced drawing for hours to impress young ladies. Anyway, we had best get started. Find me when you're finished making your rounds. Searching for a friend of yours. Let's have a look then. No, ain't seen him around. Sorry. Soup's unhelpful, sir. Soup's unhelpful. What's that you've got there? A sketch? I do. Have you seen my friend, Thancred? Can't say I know the face. You say he's something of a warrior? I heard a tale the other day about a Hyren vagabond who brought down a Bandersnatch by himself and with style. Way they tell it, he was dancing with the beast like it was the belle of the bleeding ball. Sound like your man? Yeah, he is kind of theatrical. A Hyren man. We're not exactly rare, you know. Could you be more specific? Take a glance at this sketch. I did spy this one bloke a while back. Didn't get a good look at his face, but it could have been him. This was beyond the forest, as I recall, along the river, to the west of Tailfeather. I remember thinking he wasn't much of a hunter. The lad was making no effort to cover his tracks, see? That, and he was carrying an axe instead of a bow. Thancred used axes? I don't remember. Cryo, I have some leads. Finished. In that case, I think we've learned everything we can here. Let's see what the others have found out. Where are the others? My apologies for our late arrival. We thought it wise to question as many hunters as we could. Excellent, excellent. Hopefully you guys got some answers. Many have made camp in inaccessible locations, ideal for hunting game, not so receiving visitors. Nevertheless, our time proved well spent. There have been countless sightings of an exceptionally capable Hyren hunter with whom no one is familiar. Though none chanced to see the man's face, his height and build match Thancred's description, as does his fighting prowess. Well, let's go! So you've heard the same tales, be that as it may, we yet want for conclusive proof. Why don't we just go see if it's him? Mayhap this is unrelated, but I heard a curious tale regarding a Vath trader. He came to Tailfeather in search of garments fit for a man of refinement, which seemed a rather curious description for one of his kind. You are implying that Thancred sent a Vath to market in his stead? Why would he not go himself? Probably because, you know... Well, if you recall, you yourself emerged from the live stream as naked as your name day. It is a scene I shall never forget. Is it now? Well, I was pleased to see you. I mean, it was a simple statement of fact. It stands to reason that Thancred himself found himself in the same predicament. In any case, if he had dealings with the Vath, they should be able to tell us, no? Let's hope so. Quite right, Kryle, quite right. Well, what are we waiting for? For all we know, Thancred could be waiting for us in Loth Ast Vath. We must go and see the Vath right away. Come along, everyone. Come along. I've been saying this for like 3 days of streaming. Great hunters, we welcome you once more to Loth Ast Vath. What do you seek this day? We seek a man with whom we are told you may have had certain dealings. How curious. The hunters tire of godly sport and they pursue mortal prey. No, he's not prey, but a friend long missing. Good. He is a friend to the Vath as well, one with whom we have traded many times. Truly, are you quite certain it was this man? There is no doubt. The fleshling clothed in skins came to us from Salmal, lost and weak. He offered meat and hides in trade, and in exchange we tended his wounds. He brought us much flesh, so skilled a hunter he was, much flesh. When he asked for garments, we were glad to provide them. And where is he now? Gone to lost-assed Nath, not long ago, when he heard the One Mind had summoned our god once more. Ravana is returned? Vidofnir did say the Nath had grown as before, but what could Thancred hope to accomplish by himself? Honored Elder, we thank you for your help. Would that we could repay this kindness ere we depart, but we must hasten to our comrade's side. Go, great hunters, lest the Nath claim him as a sacrifice. Oh boy. What quest do you got for me? We'll just take this quest for later. I think it's a dungeon unlock. So we'll just tuck it away. There we go. Alright, let's go. Let's go. Let's go find Thancred. He's down south. I'm gonna purposely fly this way so I could reveal a little bit of the map. I hope he's okay. And hopefully, like, he has some information on the others. I got it, guys. Don't worry.
Who else could be? Thancred. It could be Thancred. We must hurry.
Let's hurry. Holy crap. That's, what's his name? Ravana? Ravanya? Wow, they did it. I hope that's not who they thought was Thancred.
This day, we reclaim the reins of history. This day, we rid ourselves of the Ascians forever.
Who are you?
Fools playing at heroes, all of you. Is this how you believe you can save your world?
We can and we will, Ascian. You shall see. Or perhaps you will not.
Or is that supposed to be like a random party of adventurers?
So you are the warrior of light. The savior of Eorzea.
Maybe. Depends who's asking.
It's a wonder you didn't come sooner, what with the primal and all. Lost a step, have we?
Rude.
Have care. The ether moves strangely around him.
It would seem we share a common enemy. Mayhap you would tell us who you are.
Shall we show them?
You could just tell me. Or tell us. Yes, girl. Why are we fighting? Is that Thancred? Oh my god, is that Thancred? Thancred? I love the fight scenes that they do in this game. They're always so good. That was pretty badass looking.
Not very sporting of you to interrupt. But so be it.
But who is it? Who is everybody?
Mark well our faces,
Damn it.
warrior of light. For we are the warriors of darkness. Walkers of a different path. And we shall meet again.
Oh. Warriors of Darkness now?
Warriors of Darkness? Really?
That's what they said. And who this? Wait. What?
Thancred, are you all right?
He looks so different. Boy, you grew your hair out a little bit.
Pleasantries can wait. I'd rather not be here when the Nath arrive. Agreed?
He got a new outfit too. Like everybody's getting all new outfits and shit.
Suffice it to say, our reunion was not at all as I pictured it. Waiting until the last instant to join the fray.
Right?
It is plain you have not lost your appetite for the dramatic.
My appetite for the dramatic. Have you forgotten the circumstances of our parting? The heroic last stand, the tunnel filling with light, and then, had I known you intended to use forbidden magics to deliver me to some god's forsaken wilderness,
Then what?
I would have thanked you in advance.
What happened to his eye?
If nothing else, you might have warned me that I would emerge from the live stream in the all together.
butt naked.
Eventually, I managed to fashion knives from some obsidian I found, and set about hunting for meat and hides.
I love how they have little squirrels jumping to hide
Given that
his
I'm not all that
bits.
skilled in leatherworking, it's probably for the best that I met the Vath before I was reunited with you.
They made you a nice
so you
outfit.
were the fleshling clothed in skins of whom the storyteller spoke.
A description which fit me as ill as the skins themselves. Happily, I was able to trade with the Vath for garments better becoming a man of refinement. From them, I learned of Ravana, and of the great warrior who had once laid him low.
And thence did you conclude that were you to track the Primal's movements, it would surely bring you into contact with the Scions once more.
Of course it would.
It seemed a reasonable assumption. I could think of no one else with your enthusiasm for slaying beastmen gods. Until now, that is.
Ah, yes. The self-proclaimed Warriors of Darkness. 'Tis only fitting that they stand in opposition to the Warrior of Light, I suppose.
But why? Why do they want to be warriors of darkness?
I glimpsed the leaders past, if only for a moment. They were confronting a man in black. An Ascian, I think.
It was definitely an Ascian.
If these warriors are capable of doing battle with Ascians and Primals both, they must be possessed of powerful protection. Protection not unlike the Echo.
Alphino, what next? Blessed with the power of the Echo and driven to put down primals. Despite his declaration that they walk a different path, I struggle to see how their goals conflict with ours. Nor is that the only oddity. I find it passing strange that such exceptional individuals should have wholly escaped our notice until now. Surely we would have heard rumors and attempted to recruit them to our cause. I recall no such adventurers, and I would not soon forget their like, nor would any of us, I think. One of our primary duties was to scour the city-states for promising candidates, which is how I found Fire. Ah, the memories. It seems like only yesterday that you slew your first primal. Speaking of which, I had the distinct impression that it was not the first time that band of merry men and women had killed a god. I labored to believe that a band of preternaturally gifted adventurers has been traveling the land, slaying primals without our knowledge. 'Twould imply gross negligence on our part. Speculation will avail us not. There is far too much we do not know. For the present, we must needs concentrate on what we do know, namely that Lord Ravana is no more. Vidofnir must be informed. The news may render her more receptive to Sir Amaric's invitation. Since you seem to have affairs here well in hand, I shall take my leave. Simply being in the vicinity of this colony is giving me a stinking headache. If you have need of me, I shall be with Master Matoya. I would beg her assistance with the search for Minfilia. Yes, you do that, girl. Wait, Minfilia is missing? I thought she escaped with Fire. Well, she kinda did. I shall explain on the road. Much has happened in your absence. We got 3 more peeps to find now. We got Thancred back. Now we gotta get, Minfilia, Ida, and Papilimo. I mean, they're probably gonna have us find Minfilia last, right? Because she's like the most important scion. Next to me, of course, being the Warrior of Light. Vidofnir, I have some news. I had not thought to see thee again so soon, mortal. If thou seekest the night, know that she hath long since departed for Ishgard. Gaming, sorry, just woke up. You have to break anyone out of jail yet? No, nobody out of jail. I hope you had a good nap. What do you mean out of jail? We got Thancred back, and he's hunky. He's got a ponytail. He's got his hair like a little bit longer. He's got a sweet looking outfit. You'll see in just a second. He's all kinds of hunky now. My thanks, Vidofnir, but it was not for her that we came. We bring good tidings for you and yours. Lord Ravana, who had been summoned by the Nath, has again been laid low. Truly, once more you mortals have succeeded where mine own kind did fail. You have our deepest thanks. Would that we could take credit. The god fell by another's hands. If someone is stuck in bandage of any sort, or if they're just out there in random spots like you stolen. No, we did. We rescued Thancred. There was a funny story about how he showed up in the middle of this particular world naked. Another revelation upon revelation. Regardless, it is cause for celebration. The Nath will have no choice but to withdraw. But to another matter, I have tidings for thee as well. Regarding the Ishgardians' invitation? As promised, I brought the matter to my sire. Hearken to his answer now. For 1,000 years have I mourned my beloved, who gave her life to forge a peace thy king betrayed. Such was my lot, until a child of Ishgard came unto me. For want of warmth, she wrapped herself in a dream. Yet the world will remember her deeds. For truth she fought, for justice she sinned, for redemption she sacrificed and became as light. To follow one's heart, to have faith in one's convictions, be it for weal or be it for woe. Such is the folly of the glory of man and of dragon. I think he's talking about Lady Iceheart. He hath entrusted the choice to us, and we have made it. We will keep faith with you who walk in the light. Then you accept Sir Amaric's invitation. Let it be known that I, Vidofnir, shall journey onto Ishgard on behalf of my people. We are honored to receive your answer and will convey your words to our allies without delay. Ooh, she coming? Good, good. See, there's Thancred right there. Oh my god. It is happening, Isael. Would that you were here to see it. So, darkness. Oh, hold on. Some more story shit. I was going to say yesterday, I don't think your alert fully went off the way that it's supposed to.
The Scions celebrated the return of a long-lost friend. Honorable men plotted to deprive them of another.
Oh boy, what's happening? Don't do it. Don't do that sneaky stab. God damn it.
Honorable men, to whom Sir Emeric was no hero, but a scheming patricide.
He did! Jesus. A gut stab, too.
Honorable men who would fain wash the paving stones of foundation.
Please don't die.
Tyrant's blood. Honorable men whose knife in the dark was the spark which set the city aflame, and who sang as it burned.
Is he dead? Oh, for fuck's sakes, like... Right, you saw it on the screen, but I don't think it said your message. And I made some changes, so I'm going to re-trigger it. It's not gonna charge you again or anything. It's just replaying the noise. So I'm gonna replay it for you. Hold on.
Rally ho ho leg.
It's very quiet though. I think the chat bot. saying it. Brian or whatever his name is. I hope he's not really dead, but the way it sounded, it sounds like he's dead. You like the accent? Everybody uses Brian. British Brian. What goodies do you have? Ooh, you have gear all the way up to 275. Oh, you have currency that I do not have. Let's take a look and see what it looks like. Yo, that's... Yo. I like it. What's the book look like? Nice, nice. Okay, okay. Alright, let us not keep Sir Amaric waiting. Oh god, I had a vision. Are you quite well, Thancred? Yes, yes, quite well. Forgive me. You have given me rather a lot to digest. This whole affair with the Ishgardians and the Dravanians and our friends nowhere to be found. 'Twould seem there is no end to our troubles. We can but face them head on, one at a time. For now, we must apply ourselves to our allotted tasks and leave the others to theirs. Remember, Thancred, we found you as they found me. In time, we will find Ida, Papalimo, and Minfilia as well. These troubles will soon be but a memory, one which we will look back on together. Pray, do not misunderstand. I did not mean to imply that it would be otherwise. I merely wish that I had rejoined our grand adventure at one of its more triumphal moments. Despite your recent accomplishments, the mood here is less than celebratory. But I have no doubt that we will enjoy many more glorious victories soon enough, and you may rest assured that I will play my part in them to the very hilt. I know you will. So then, to the congregation. I have bad news, guys. We're about to find out some bad news. Shit. Man. Lucia! You have returned. In this, at least, the fates are kind. Greetings, First Commander. It pleases me to inform you that Vidofnir has accepted Sir Amaric's invitation. She has. These are glad tidings indeed. But... would that the Lord Commander were here to hear them. Is he otherwise engaged? Sleeping off a knife to the gut. What happened? Will he live? The chirurgeons? Why not just say surgeons? Tell me he will make a full recovery. But had Lord Edmond and Lord Artoriel not been on hand when the assassin struck, he would not have been so fortunate. For a mercy, they subdued the fiend before he could land the telling blow. The attack was just the beginning, though. Not long after, buildings all around the city, including several of ours, burst into flame. Bastards caught us completely by surprise. We've been dousing the fires, but for every one we put out, it seems like 2 more start up. Casualties are mounting, especially in the Broom. 'Tis plain these fires were started by the assassin's conspirators. Until they have been rounded up, there will be no end to this. Will you help us find them? Of course we will! Then let us be about it. The flames are spreading. We must needs begin our investigation immediately. Witnesses must be found, suspects must be identified. Have you been able to determine the precise locations where the fires were set? Mayhap there is a pattern. If there is, we have yet to discern it. Fires have been reported throughout the city in both the pillars and the foundation. Oh, you know, Tall Girl of Tarth mad right now. Can't break her daddy off if he's in the hospital. Oh my goodness, right? Indeed, given the size of the area affected, I think it best to divide our forces. Master Alphino and Mistress Y'shtola, I would have you take charge of the investigation in Foundation. As you wish, mayhap Tataru can be of assistance as well. Mean and Fire and me get the pillars. Oh, they'll like me up there. Only question is, will the grizzled old rogue striking a pose over there be joining us? Let's talk about Thancred. Thancred of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, and may I say what a pleasure it is to meet you too, my lady. I'll bet. The name's Hilda, a Scion, eh? And there, I was thinking I'd found a fellow ruffian amongst all these illustrious personages. I will remain here to coordinate the fire-quenching effort. If you learn aught of value, pray inform me immediately. That's all. Uh-oh, Hilda and Thancred. While we could begin by sifting through charred rubble and questioning random passerby, in my experience, every town has at least one individual who can be counted on to know things he or she should not. Are we gonna go talk to the old dog or whatever? Oh. The infamous Lord Emmy, lover of women and wine. Though neither care for him that much. They say he could gossip for Ishgard. Yeah. Just the sort of fellow I had in mind. Capital suggestion, Fire. He'll be at the Crozier, most like, making an effort to be seen. So let's go and see him. Fucking Emmy. Grizzled, I will accept, but old? Sigh. Oh my god, he's such a playboy. I like him better with the beard and the longer hair and stuff. I don't know what happened to his eye, though. I'm sure he'll tell us eventually. Alright, we're going to the pillars, and we're going to the Crozier. Or Crozier, whatever it's called. Lord Emmy, you little shit. Well, well, if it isn't Fire, dearest of all my friends. You're looking rather glum. Something the matter, old girl? I just want to slap him. Ah yes, the arsons. Dreadful business that, and awfully curious, wouldn't you say? There doesn't seem to be any rhyme or reason to it at all. Naturally, we've doubled the guard outside the manor, along with most of the other houses. Can't have the old pile going up in flames, after all. Oh, in case you were wondering why the Hoplin is awash with refugees, the lower levels of the vault have been opened to those unfortunate souls who have lost their homes. Sir Amaric's orders, from what I hear. Remarkable man. Not even a knife in the ribs can keep him from his duties. Actually, old girl, if you were thinking of questioning the refugees, I should be more than happy to accompany you to the Hoplon. While you conduct your inquiries, I could offer words of comfort to the distressed and despondent young maidens. Seriously, he's gonna be looking for pieces of ass for people that lost their homes? What a dick. Wait a minute, I know what that is. You're giving me one of your looks, aren't you? You do me an injustice, old girl. I will have you know my heart yearns for but one rose, prickly though she may be. I sense you remain unconvinced. Very well. It will help to prove the purity of my intentions. I shall gracefully rescind my offer. Now run along and catch those arsonists. That was not entirely what I hoped for. Whose idea was it to come here again? Never mind. For our next step, I suggest we divide our efforts. While you question the refugees and Hoplon fire, I shall investigate the locations where the fires were set. Would you be so good as to join me, Hilda? Ooh, Thancred's got it for Hilda. You know what? I reckon I would. Can't have you roaming about in an unfamiliar city by your lonesome, can we? You'd only get robbed blind and left shivering in your small clothes. He's legit. Alright, where are we going? Into the Hoplon. What's that? So we'll go to the last vigil. Unruffled refugee. Ours was one of the first homes to be claimed, but I didn't see how the fire began. It was only when I heard our neighbors shouting that I looked outside and saw the flames. We barely escaped with the clothes on our backs. Were it not for the church's generosity, I don't know what we'd do. We'll go over here first. I don't really care about the priest. There was a man with a satchel. I saw him kneeling outside the window, and then there was smoke everywhere. And it was so hot, and I couldn't breathe. I don't remember how I made it out. I suppose I must have climbed. Maybe my arm is getting better after all. He looks angry. Come, my brothers and sisters, there's food and shelter enough for all in the Basila. Or Baliska, whatever the fuck that word was. Alone's blessings be upon you, Father. I confess we were not sure if we should come. There are so many unbelievable tales these days about the Archbishop and Sir Amaric and the Gervanians. Trust in your heart, brother, and pay no heed to the lies of lesser men. They seek only to lead you astray. Do you require succor as well, miss? No, I'm good. So the Temple Knights have begun their investigation at last. Good. This madness has gone on far too long. Would that I could do something to aid you in your search. But I have a duty to these poor souls. Farewell. May the Fury guide your steps. Okay. I feel like something shitty's happening with the people. I don't know what yet, but I feel like something shitty. I'm adjusting something because I saw something I didn't like when I was chatting. Hold on, let's try this. Test, test, test. Okay, I like that better. That positioning better. Okay. Alright, rendezvous with Thancred. Where is Thancred? It's right over there. Okay. Hopefully he's not doing something stupid. Thancred and Hilda. Ah, there you are. Anything to share? We will require more than the muddled testimony of a traumatized girl if we are to identify the culprits. While you were questioning the refugees, we inspected the scenes of several of the fires, including one near St. Raymonauds. Jesus. St. R's Cathedral, and another near the Tribunal. For a mercy, neither structure suffered significant damage. Some might say they were spared by the grace of the Fury. Others might question how such ruthlessly efficient arsonists contrived to fail so miserably on 2 occasions when their target was a bastion of Ishgardian orthodoxy. Nothing conclusive, of course, but it does give one cause to wonder. Alphino will doubtless have an opinion. To Alphino. Where is he at? He is by the broom. Okay. Excuse me. Pardon me while I just run in between your conversation. Oh, Alphino. I figure I'll try and get like a nice higher up. Oh, there he is. Vantage point to see where he's at. Ooh, they have a captive. Silence will avail you not, sir. Ah, Fire, I was just about to summon you. As you can see, we have detained a suspect. We found this man loitering near the remains of one of the stricken buildings. According to eyewitnesses, he was also present before the fires broke out. We wished to have words, he did not, so we insisted. Let me go, damn it, you've got the wrong man. But you reek of oil. And are those burns on your hands? An occupational hazard, I suppose, but tell me, does arson pay well? I'm a victim, you imbecile. Look at me. Aye, that you are, after a fashion. You should know that your pious patron has already spun us a delightful yarn about how his pet mongrel slipped the leash and set about burning half the city to the ground. Not very noble of him, I grant you. But then these highborn types rarely do show loyalty to their pets. In fact, he called you rabid and begged us to put you down. That's bollocks. He's the one who told me to keep going. Way to rat yourself out, buddy. Even the sinners such as me could find salvation in the Fury's work, he said. I'd left it behind, tried to, with all my heart, said my prayers every day like a good man. But he came to me. He came to me. And there you have it, Hilda. Would you be so kind as to escort our friend here to the congregation? Aye, so long as you don't mind if he's limping when he gets there. She gonna beat his ass on the way. Good. Fuck him. Setting fires. That was incredible, Thancred. But how did you know he'd confess? Well, I have seen his like before. A troubled soul, manipulated by men of power, and wielded as a weapon. I could not be certain, of course, but given the stakes, I thought it worth the risk. And if our captive had called your bluff? Must we entertain hypotheticals? The world as it is vexing enough. Thank you, Thancred. Whether by luck or judgment, we have at last confirmed that these arsons were orchestrated by a person or persons of influence. I think it best that we now return to the congregation and discuss how best to proceed. Some shitteries happening. I hope it's not Lord Edmond or Edmund, whatever the hell his name is. He was very not happy with us wanting to tell the truth and stuff about how the Dragon War started. All of the houses were not happy. None of them wanted us to do it because they're afraid they're going to lose their power. On behalf of the Holy See of Ishgard, I thank you all. The man you apprehended is being interrogated as we speak. Though he fell silent upon realizing that we had not turned his master, he will soon tell us what he knows, one way or another. Oh, Emmy. Oh no. Artie. Pardon the intrusion, First Commander? Oh, Lord Artie, are you come to see your father? He is attending Sir Amaric in his chambers at present. I am. He bid me bring this salve. Then do not let me detain you, and thank you for your kindness, my lord. In times of trouble, every man must do his part. Would that I could do more. Man, that salve's probably poison. I don't trust nobody in this game. They're probably backstabbing Amaric. My lord Artie did not seem to be in the best of spirits. This little wonder, Master Alphino, his father is widely slandered, and his half-brother not yet cold in the grave. Let's take that one. Let's see what we get. Ooh, oh, PvP gear, I think, right? Is what it said. Oh, I can't. Strength? Why do I want strength? Look at that item level, though. 240. Shall we see what it looks like? Oh, it won't let me put it on. Alright, well, let's... What was it? The choker, bracelet, and ring. Oh boy. Okay. We'll look at it later. I'm gonna get a wind-up horse chiffon. And a shield.
I do not mean to diminish our accomplishments, but until we identify the ones who ordered the fires set, our work is far from finished.
Between the various conservative and religious factions in Ishgard, I dare say there's no shortage of parties who would like to see the status quo preserved.
Far too many.
Oh, he's up and walking. Good, good.
Lord Commander, your wounds.
Are healing well. Thank you.
Sneak peek in the dressing room.
Lest we forget, these men would sooner put their own city to the torch than see it change. When our enemies learn that we have apprehended their arsonist, there is no telling how they will react.
He's walking pretty good for taking a gut stab.
Lord Commander, an armed mob has seized control of the vault.
What?
And now we know. Tell us what happened, sir. Spare no detail.
We were directing refugees into the Basilica, as you ordered, when all of a sudden, men brandishing weapons were all around us. It happened so fast, my lord. We had no time to respond. They've taken the refugees hostage and barricaded themselves inside the vault.
And they sent you to deliver their demands.
They, the true brothers of the faith, demand that a conclave to select the next Archbishop be held forthwith. Furthermore, they declare that you, Lord Commander, are guilty of patricide and high treason, and that you must surrender yourself at once to receive of the Fury's judgment.
Damn, I knew that guy was not to be trusted, this one in particular. He looked shady.
Ridiculous! I mean, do they honestly think that executing Sir Emeric would change anything? That the truth will somehow die with him?
These fundamentalists rage against the passing of the old ways, unable to accept there can be no going back.
Given the fanciful nature of their demands, a peaceful resolution does not seem likely. If the hostages are to be rescued, it will be by force, I fear.
So it seems like everybody in this game that should not be trusted is like kind of ugly looking. You know what I mean? Like all of our heroes and all the good guys are all like super flawless and stuff. So kind of like the Archbishop. Super, like, ugly and old and all that stuff. Like, not flawless whatsoever. And, like, what's his name? Illbeard or whatever. He wasn't the prettiest of people either. I think... I kind of want to say that Count Edmund, Dracula here, is kind of on the, not pretty, not flawless side, if you know what I'm saying.
Agreed. Lucia, take a contingent of knights and establish a perimeter outside the entrance.
He might be the guy in power.
Once, Lord Commander.
That's like going against everything, because he was very vocal
Hilda,
about.
I need your people out in force throughout the Broom. When word spreads of the situation, the friends and family of the hostages may try to take matters into their own hands. I will not give these militants more targets.
They hid Thany Boy's face too while he was a bad guy, right? Right?
I shall lead the assault on the vault. Master Alphino, can I count on the support of the Scions?
Of course you can. I know you weren't asking me, but... Oh, Thancred.
We are in your debt.
I'm gonna be fangirling Thancred for a little bit. I didn't like him before, but now I really like him.
I shall join you as well, Lord Commander.
Seems skeptical.
Your assistance is most welcome, Lord Atwarel. To arms, then, friends.
He's
Time is
rugged.
against us.
He is. Hold on. How do I use my damn emotes? I don't even know how to use my own emotes. There we go, there we go, there we go. Oh, that hey guys doesn't need to be in there, but whatever, whatever. He seems to have toned down a little bit on his, like, womanizing as well. But he's only been back for literally 5 minutes, so there's still time. Alright, where we go? We are going to the pillars, and we are going to the church, I think. Oh, no, no. We're going... the Jewel de Corrosia. Whoa, your armor looks cool, dude. This one. If I start posting, like, fangirl art of Thancred on my Twitter, mind your business, everyone. Just mind your business. I should. I really should. Like, I should do stupid shit like, hold on. Wait. How do I get rid of my... I forgot what the button is to... Oh, there it is. Boom. Ishtola, get the hell out of here. There we go. I'm sorry. I know there's, like, you know, something happening. I'll be just like that emote, minding my business. Yeah. Listen well. We will enter the Basilica silently via this gate. According to our latest reports, there are at least 6 hostages being held within. The numbers are and readiness of the true brothers of the faith are unknown. I am told one claimed to have served under Thordan the Seventh. Might the same be true of the rest? Oh, chat, y'all ship Thancred in fire. Given the swiftness with which they seized control of the vault, I think it highly likely yes, which means that they may well possess the knowledge required to turn the building's defenses against us. Be that as it may, we have no choice but to press on. Lord Artie, you are a brave man and true, and none would dare question your honor if you chose not to risk your life in this endeavor. Are you certain you wish to join us? I'm no stranger to the battlefield, Sir Amaric. My arm will not falter. My shield will not break. Helone is my witness. We will bring these fanatics to justice. Well said, my lord. Friends, follow me. Oh my god, I should hire Mia to draw me a portrait of my character and Thancred. Rugged Thancred together. Oh my god, I'm doing it. I'm totally doing it. Get this fire out of my face. I don't know, Amaric's kind of like, you know, I'm warming up to him as well. Thancred, are you with us? He's here. Okay, he's here. Let me toss him a heal.
Down with you!
Uh-huh. I feel like that's everybody's May, though. I feel like every girl fangirls over Thancred. That's fine. He's mine. You see that new skill where it like just blows up everything? Isn't that freaking amazing? I love it. They do. They get visually, like, freaking amazing. And then, like, this is my new ruin. Where they at? Where they at?
Underestimate me.
Yes, bitches, die. Guys, we're still fighting. Thank you. Where's Thancred? We lost Thancred. Oh, this is gonna be those warriors of darkness now. Right? Oh no, that's not them. Never mind. Sir Simeonard, lay down your arms and release the hostages, and you will be shown mercy. I give you my word. The word of a heretic and kinslayer. I would sooner trust a dragon Activate the knights. We shall show the hostages the same mercy he showed the Archbishop. Are you not aware, like, what he was doing? Like... No? Okay. Oh my goodness. Those are pretty neat looking. Unlike you, Sir Amaric, I am a man of honor. By my hand you shall receive the Fury's judgment. So it is to be a trial then. Lord Artie Fire, leave us and save the hostages. I will deal with Sir Simeonard. This seems like a bad idea. You've got, like, a gut stab you're healing from. Did their horses transform into bipedal robots? I looked away for 1 sec. Yeah. Alright, so I'm supposed to go save someone? Can I go this way? No, okay. Alrighty, let's go save the hostages. I don't know where they're at, but let's do it. Perhaps there's some over there. Oh, yep, okay. Can I just walk through here? No. Can I walk through here? No. Oh my god, dumb. Alright, there's one. Yeah, bitch, die. What do we save? Oh, okay. There, the bonds. Okay. So that's 2 of them, and we've got to save 2 more? We know they're over there. Those robotic knights, like, the horses look really neat. Oh, we gotta find another refugee somewhere. Oh shit, one of the refugees is dead. Bless you, Kit Kat. Maybe? Or maybe we just didn't find them? I killed them too slow.
This knight does not yield!
Stop healing. Hey Jibs, how are you doing today? Happy Sunday. While you're in here, Jibs, quickie question. Does Mia do, like, character portraits? I'm thinking I might be hiring her to do a fangirl thing for me. Let me ask. Okay. So, Jibs, we rescued Thancred, and he's pretty rugged and beautiful and stuff now, and I'm kind of in love with him, I think, and I want to do a portrait with my character and Thancred. I know, right? Aww. Just for funsies, you know what I mean? Like, obviously, you know. Okay. We saved them all. We did it.
Where is he? Where is he?
I freaking knew it.
Come no closer.
I hated that dude. The second I met him, I'm like, ugh.
You have nowhere to run. Release the girl and surrender.
You best be releasing that girl.
Surrender to who?
But not over the ledge.
The blasphemer who throws wide the gates to our enemy? Who breaks bread with him and calls him brother? Ungodly swine! I would sooner die than surrender to you.
I can arrange that.
Is it godly to spill the blood of an innocent child? To burn the homes of your brothers? Tell me, priest, is that godly?
Do not speak to me of godliness, heathen! Your father's blood is on your hands, as is hers!
Don't let her go. Don't let her go. Don't let her go. Don't let her go. Don't do it, you shit. Did you see that? How his face went from like, oh my god, what am I doing, to fucking nutbag. Right? The face, man. Y'shtola, look up. Save her. Save her. That's a long fucking drop. Oh, the dragon! Is that Vidofnir?
What? But I...
Just relax, girl. Just relax. No sudden movements. What an entrance, Vidofnir. What an entrance.
Vidofnir!
She's lucky she didn't land on one of those spines, right? No need to hide, girl. You're fine. You fine. She saved your life.
Well met, knight. Mayhap I chose an inopportune moment.
No, it's perfect.
Not at all. Pray forgive us this most unworthy reception. We are honored to have you with us, and right glad of your aid.
Fortune delivered the child unto me. I had but to receive her.
Thank you for saving me.
Humble, too.
Thou art welcome, child.
She said she'll attempt it. Woo! Okay, after this stream, I'm gonna have to ask her for details and, you know, and all that stuff, like pricing and stuff. So guys, oh, there he is. There's my Thancred.
never did I think to be indebted to so unexpected a savior. But full glad am I to be so.
Friend of Izel, warrior of warriors, I had hoped to meet with thee.
Don't eat him.
I bear a message from my sire.
Okay, I thought she was gonna eat him.
From Tracefelder.
Uh-huh.
Upon returning to our lands, Nidhogg's shade did sing unto his brood, and they for skies unknown did then take wing.
That's right,
This thou must know, for your fates are inextricably bound.
we totally forgot about Estinian being overtaken by Nidhogg.
What of Estinian? Is he truly lost to us?
We're the worst friends ever.
Such matters are beyond my ken. I but bear my father's words. Take from them what thou wilt. Fare you well, mortals.
So in terms of like dragon faces, doesn't it look like she got punched in the snout really hard one time? Or like ran into a cliff or something flying and like broke her face? And it's all stunted now? I hope he's not a bad guy. He's been pretty good to us, but I feel like he's doing something
So
shitty.
it is as they say then. A great white dragon swooped down from the heavens to rescue an innocent child.
A most unexpected turn of events, but not an unwelcome one. The people will not soon forget this day.
Yet how will they choose to remember it, Sir Emmerich? And will these events serve to bring man and dragon closer together, or drive a deeper wedge between brothers? After 1,000 years, the world these men once knew is changing, and with ungentle swiftness to boot. Though their actions are misguided, their sentiments are only to be expected. You may be sure that others will rally to their cause.
I don't like how he's
I
speaking.
share your desire for a lasting peace with the Javanians, I do. But I would not see it built on the bones of our countrymen, nor on our own. I see much of Horsefon in you, and I could not bear to mourn the passing of another son.
Lord Edmund.
Oh, ripping that scab open again. See, I think he's doing something shitty, but not like intentionally shitty. Or maybe Artie is. I don't know. Somebody in power is doing something shitty. Alphino. This has been a day of surprises, has it not? 'Tis but a pity Vidofnir could not stay longer. Yeah, she literally swooped in, rescued a child, said hey, and left. Yes, I think it's fair to say that she timed her departure rather less well than her arrival. Well timed scarcely does it justice, but 1 moment later would have been a moment too late. Let us pray that the Ishgardians who yet harbored doubts will take these events to heart and accept the truth of Sir Amarich's words. Well, 'tis only meet that I inform Tataru of what has occurred here. If you have need of me, I shall be at Fortham Manor. Allow me to accompany you. Tatara would never forgive me if I left for the Rising Stones without saying goodbye. I'm gonna follow Thancred. Oh, girl, a moment, Fire. I wish a word. But... Tell me, does Thancred seem quite well to you? Yes. He seems very well. He held his own in the vault. That he did, which is especially remarkable given the injury to his eye. I can only assume that his time in the wilderness afforded him ample opportunity to compensate for his impairment. However, I speak not of his physical state, but rather his etheric flow, which I fear has been irreparably disrupted. As a result, I strongly suspect that his ability to manipulate ether has been compromised. Simply put, Thancred may no longer be able to wield magics. It would do much to explain why he chose to remain within the wilderness instead of seeking us out. He would have been compelled to rely solely on his traditional methods of travel, significantly prolonging his journey. And when he learned that a nearby beast tribe was making preparations to summon a primal, it may well have seemed more sensible to wait. But this is still more than speculation. Still little more than speculation. Until I have proof, pray speak no word of it. I'm gonna go ask him, like, immediately, as long as the quests allow me to. Right then, I should be on my way. Kryl may have charmed Master Matoya for now, but who can say how long that will last? To Fortem Manor. Yes, please allow me in the manor.
That Vidofnir should chance to arrive even as the girl fell. Truly, I could not have planned it better myself.
It was pretty epic.
Ah, good. We were afraid you might have left.
Not yet, we're getting ready.
A shield, my lord?
Bless you, Kit Kat. That was, like, literally right in my face.
Fit for a true knight. An expression of our gratitude to you and yours. Long overdue.
It looks just like Harshiphant's. Minus the hole.
But there is something else I would discuss ere you part. Something which cannot leave this room. My father will soon step down as head of our house.
Oh?
Sir Emmerich was not the only one to fall under suspicion following the death of the Archbishop. There are some who believe my father complicit in a coup d'etat.
A coup
Thus he
d'etat.
intends to renounce his title to absolve our house of suspicion and secure the support of our peers.
Surely there must be another way to convince Houses Durandare and Zamail.
So I said to him. Alas, he will not budge.
Or maybe he's doing something nefarious and he doesn't want to bring the house down.
Ever since I was a child, I knew that I would one day succeed my father. The thought of it filled me with pride. Yet once I learned the day was at hand, my heart was filled with naught but dread. Our legacy is built upon the lies of our forefathers. In accepting this title, am I not perpetuating this injustice? Why should I become the next count?
Don't give it to your brother, Emmy. I don't know what to say.
But then I thought of my brother. A knight lives to serve, to aid those in need.
Uh-huh, yep.
When you look on that shield, I trust you will remember his words. And should I once more find my resolve wavering, I ask that you show me the way. You are a sister to Haurchefant. Will you be a sister to me as well?
I think our bond was a little bit more than like brother-sisterly. But sure.
Come, Emanelaine. There's much to be done. For Father, and for Sir Emeric, and for Ishgard.
For once, you don't have something smart to say? Oh, wait, here it comes. Oh. I'm surprised he didn't call me old girl on the way out.
To think we share the same blood. Pray excuse us.
Those were the days of promises and vows, of tentative first steps into an uncertain future. A future shaped by the choices we made, in ways we could never have foreseen. Born of good and evil, of light and darkness, and shepherded by our hand. Be it for weal, or be it for woe.
His memoirs from Count Edmond's... Oh, memoirs. I get a wind-up Haurchefant. Let's check that out. Urianger. This is thy proof, the Garoon oracles, Apocrypha. Is it a truth long forgotten, a tale of the beginning, and of the path we have been set upon? Fucking Urianger. And that's the dude from the Warriors of Darkness. Our fates were ordained long ago, Archon. The Garleans are no exception, nor the Triad. You know what must be done. I don't like you, Urianger. I hope you're just playing both sides. Ooh. Was that Alphino or his sister, maybe? Alphino's twin? Is that Ida? Oh, look at those short shorts. That's Ida. And that's Papalima. Yep. Well. Everyone has their orders. It's Ida. The masks will attack as soon as all units are in position. The Imperials won't know what hit them. I fear it will be bloody. By Ralger, it had better be. They're purposely hiding her face. We cannot stay here forever, Ida. We have other responsibilities. I know full well what my responsibilities are, and I mean to fulfill them, every one. Well, we know they're alive. That's good news. Tataru? Oh, wait. Let's see if we got anything good. Ring of Casting, Bracelet of Casting, Choker of Casting, and Primal Ring of Casting. Is it better than what I have? It appears so. Equip. Look at that, 205. Alright, Tataru. Hiding her face, bad girl confirmed, right? Alpha No Fire, I've been looking all over for you. We're standing right here. We've received news regarding F. Hoary Boulder and Coltonate. I have no idea who the other two are, but I know Flyman is Manphilia's mom. Really? Has something happened? I'm sorry, I'm munching on Twizzlers. I'm starving. No, it's nothing bad. Quite the opposite, in fact. It seems that once they learned that the Scion's good name had been restored, they boarded the next ship bound for Limsa Lominso. Filet mignon? Yeah. They should be arriving any moment now. It's easy to forget how useful link pearls are, isn't it? When they work, I mean. And you don't mind being spied on. Quite, but what wonderful news. To think that our reunion is close at hand. Oh, there's my Thancred. A pleasure to see you, Alphino. Ah, Thancred. And Cryo, what brings the two of you here? Cryo and I have been looking into how we might track down Minfilia. And we may just have found the answer. Fire, when you were fleeing Ulda with Minfilia, you said that Hydaelyn spoke to her shortly before you parted ways, yes? Well, assuming that is true, and I see no reason to suspect that it is not, it seems reasonable to conclude that Hydaelyn commanded her to remain behind. That is to say, the Mother Crystal directly interceded to guide Minfilia. Admittedly, this is all still quite hypothetical, but I propose that such intervention, however subtle, must surely have some residual trace, a lingering disturbance in the ether, or ripple, if you will. In order to establish the existence of such ripples, of course, we will require suitable data. Fortunately, I know where such data can be found, the battleground where fire felled the Ultima weapon, and the site of my personal ignominy was there that Hydaelyn intervened to shield her from the magic I invoked. Kryl and I will infiltrate the castrum and analyze the ether therein. The two of you, alone? I have a proven knack for subterfuge, and I am confident there will be sufficient nooks and crannies in which to hide Kryl while the patrols pass. Besides, if you and Fire come along, who will see to Flamin's grand homecoming? When you put it like that, very well, I will trust in your plan. I want to go with Thancred. I know not whether this data will yield a means to find Minfilia, but it will at the very least eliminate another avenue of inquiry. Tataru and I will return to the Rising Stones and make preparations for our comrades' return. Might I impose upon you to meet them at the Lominson docks? Sure. Why not? Then I shall see you four. Oh my god. Then I shall see the four of you at the Rising Stones. Safe travels. Be safe, Thancred. So I gotta go to Limsa. Relax, kitty, relax. Battle XP boost from the company. I turned it on earlier. It only lasts for 24 hours. Oh, who do I spy over here? Let me just be annoying for a second. Well, that's fine. Y'all saw me wave at him, because when I don't wave at him, he throws a fit. I did. Oh, I remember this guy with the bright red hair. Oh, Fire! How have you been? Come here, let me have a good look at you. Thank the 12, one hears the strangest tales in foreign lands. I worried about you all every day. We would have sent word sooner, but the Braves afforded us no opportunity. When they fell upon us in the market, it was all we could do to escape. Tataru found her way to you, of course, but we were forced to seek shelter aboard a Hannish vessel. They came back with new armor and clothes, of course. It pained us not being there when you needed us most, but we made the most of it, didn't we, Coltonate? Studied and trained from dusk till dawn, we did. We would have sent word sooner, but we knew not whom to trust, and with the vast distance... But those dark days are behind us at last. I shall be glad indeed to return home and speak with my daughter. About Minfilia. What do you mean she's missing? How could you let this happen? Yeah, I did it. Forgive me. I'm sure you're doing everything in your power to find her. As Thancred must be. He watched over her from the first, long before me, and he will watch over her to the last. I shall pray for her safe return and busy myself in the meantime. For a certainty, there is much and more to be done. The Braves may have bloodied us, but the path remains, and we shall not be swayed from it. Alright, that's the spirit to the Scions, and a long overdue reunion. Huzzah! Please don't huzzah. Well, there you have it, to the Rising Stones. Thancred.
Well done, sir. And with that, I believe we are ready to proceed.
Let us be about our business then.
His eye is fine, it's just
May not be
white.
so credulous.
Okay. So he's got the same thing going on like, what's her face? Ishola. Her eyes are both white. He blind.
Why must you be so disappointingly brusque? You're not at all as Minfilia described, you know. I don't think you favored me with so much as a single compliment since we set out.
Because he's only got eyes for me now, Cryo.
Tell me,
eye for
did
me.
your time in the wilderness sap you of all your charm? Or are you holding it in reserve for your beloved?
This is neither the time nor the place.
Oh, he loves Minfilia, doesn't he?
Well, call me old-fashioned, but when I'm risking life and limb infiltrating an Imperial castrum, I like to be sure of my comrades' motivations.
Maybe we don't need to save Minfilia.
I see now where Alphino gets it from. Minfilia is dear to me. It is true. But not in the way you think.
Oh, thank God, thank God. Not in the way you think, thank God.
15 years passed, when she was still but a child. There was an incident at a parade. A Gubu broke free of its fetters and ran amok through the streets of Ul'dah. Had I been more attentive, I could have prevented it. But I was distracted, and her father was killed.
Oh, you owe her a life debt.
I feared she would never recover. But in the years that followed, she showed herself to be more resilient than I had ever imagined. And when she learned of her gift, she did not flinch from the responsibility, but sought to guide others on the path. She touched the hearts of all around her. Mine, Louisoire, every science. In those dark days following the calamity, she was our guiding light, our hope for a brighter future. She had so many dreams, and I would give anything to make them come true.
Mm-hmm.
My apologies. I can see she means the world to you. I did not mean to pick at old scars.
No harm done, I assure you. But fair is fair, my lady. What is Minfilia to you?
Best
you
friend.
mean you don't know? Only my dearest friend.
Oh.
When I finally emerged from my torpor, I learned that nary a day had passed without her asking after me. She never gave up hope.
Aww. She's a good friend.
And neither will I.
Then for Minfilia's sake, let us pray that these vestiges of Hydaelyn's intervention will lead us to her.
Just taking pictures for research purposes. Alright, we're gonna go to a Revenant's Toll. Okay. Alright, I'm going to run to the ladies' room real quick. I'm just gonna mute my mic. I'm not gonna throw up the BRB. But I shall be right back. I've returned. Thank you so much for patiently waiting. Okay, so we're gonna speak with Filet Mignon. It feels good to be home again. To think that everyone is waiting for us just beyond those doors. Friends and family with whom we have shared so much. God's help me, but the older I get, the more sentimental I become. Come, let us not keep them waiting. Take your time, guys. Take your time. I literally cannot move. Oh my goodness, so many people to talk to. Alian, Efemi. It fills my heart with joy to see you both hale and healthy. And what of Higiri? She is well, though abroad on a mission at present. It just wasn't the same without you. Welcome back, my lady. That's not who I wanted to talk to. We could do with more of that around here. Heartfelt reunions with the stalwart companions brings a belch. Brings a bloody tear to the eye. Oh me. The secret oneself in a ship's hold to secure safe passage to a faraway land. 'Tis a tale we all know too well. When they are well rested, I should like to seek a formal introduction. Why wait, my friend? Come, there is no need to be shy. Pray, grant me a moment longer at least. Though I'm happy to oblige you, my legs are rather less accommodating. O'Hare! What in the seven hells drove my little brother to come to Mordana? Why, you, brother? You and the Scions, of course. For 1,000 days I trained, that I might grow as strong as you, that I might fight alongside you. Yet, now that you are here, I sense that you have surpassed me once more. No, do not tell me. You trained with the Hanish, did you not? Your eyes do not deceive, brother. I have studied the trials of the braves, and drunk deep of the souls of mine enemies. He has a fabulous way with words. Glad though I am to be home, I cannot help but think of those who have yet to return. Once we have settled in, I would join the search. Tataru, you're here, girl. It's been so long since I've seen them all like this. Too long. 'Twas the chaos born of my foolish ambition which forced them to flee. Though they are returned, there are others yet missing, others whom we cannot forsake. We'll find them, Alphino. I know we will. Minfilia, Ida, Papalimo, every last one. And when they walk through those doors, we'll be here to welcome them home. With me at the head of the queue, of course. I love her. She's so cute. Where's my new outfit? Bitch. Take the cookies. Alright, what now, Alphino? Ooh, what do I get? Thancred and Cryle contacted us a short while ago. It would seem that their foray into Castrum Embor fruit. They asked that we rendezvous with them and Y'shtola at Idleshire, where they will share their findings. Rude though it is to depart without speaking to the guest of honor, I expect she will forgive me if I return with her daughter. I'm gonna go say hi. Hi. So we're going to Idleshire. Idleshire. Speaking of Idleshire, I unlocked something cool yesterday, and I really don't know what it is. Here it is, the Wondrous Trials. I should just put this down here for me. But it's like this thing where I get a shit ton of rewards if I complete these things. So like I have to do one of the following instance dungeons, level 1 to 49. Complete one of the following dungeons, level 50. 51 to 59, a level 60. Complete that duty. And then there's a whole bunch of duties that I have to do. But then I get like a whole bunch of fucking reward. Ooh, 10,000 kill! Does that couple with the duty roulette? I think it does. I really think it does. And you unlock it in this zone. So I don't know if you got to this zone yet, but if you did, there's a quest. It started, this is Idleshire, where like the goblins are talking to you, I think is how it started. Like the goblins were like, hey, yeah, it's the goblin little city. The quests all started over here, but then I picked up the quest. It was one of those blue ones with the plus sign. It was like over here by this chocobo, and then it had me literally run over to where this book is, The Wondrous Tales. That's all I did, was literally talk to somebody over here and then talk to somebody over here, and it gave me that book, and it unlocked those Wondrous Tales. They reset every Tuesday, I think is what it said when I was going over it, but I definitely want to you know, like try and do this. So yeah. My apologies. I see I'm the last to arrive. So what news have you for us? Well, as we postulated, there were indeed what appeared to be remnants of an unexplained disturbance in the ether at the scene of the Ultima Weapon's destruction, a ripple at odds with the presiding pattern. Though faint, the waveforms bore a strong resemblance to those observed following the destruction of the Isle of Val, when I believe Hydaelyn shielded me with the blessing of light. To confirm our findings, we paid a visit to the Silda aqueducts. There, we detected the same waveform, but orders of magnitude larger, as one would expect of a more recent disturbance. Hydaelyn, there is no other explanation. But there is more. When I studied the site where Y'shtola used flow, it appeared that not 2, but 3 beings had been affected. Unlike Y'shtola and Thancred, there was no trail to follow. Our unknown third party was simply there, and then not there. Now recall your visions of a vast crystal floating in the sea of ether. Though this too is but a theory, studies of gifted subjects suggest that when communing with Hydaelyn, whatever, we briefly leave our bodies behind. So let us consider the facts. 1. Hydaelyn interceded. 2. A third being was caught in Y'shtola's flow and vanished without a trace. And 3. Hydaelyn may have the capacity to summon the consciousness of gifted individuals to her side. You are implying, I take it, that Hydaelyn guided Minfilia into the compass of my magic, that she might summon her body and soul unto the ethereal sea? In which case, we must needs continue our search there. For a blessing, the means to do so already exists. I speak of the Antitower, a Charlayan construction conceived to provide scholars a vantage point over the ethereal sea. Though I know not where its entrance lies, we need only ask its last custodian, a contrary old crone who, for another blessing, refused to join the Exodus. Master Matoya was the keeper of the Antitower. I had no idea. Neither did I. Then our course is clear. We must petition her aid once again. Back to the old girl we go. I think we gotta go out this way. Can't remember which side she's on though. She's on this side. Click locks. I shall fly there. Oh my god, flying. I love it. So I'm gonna have to go run out and find those fates and do them for that book. You know what? Since I'm flying down there, I'm just gonna fly over this anyway, so I can open up the map. I should have done it yesterday when I got flying. Bless you, cat. Wouldn't it be funny if, like, my cat is allergic to me and I'm allergic to my cat? And that's why we both have allergies. Working on your flying currently? Are you doing it, like, randomly? Are you trying to find it on your own, or are you using a website? Because I found a website that helped me do it, like, so well. Oh, she's down below. Where am I going? Using the compass. Didn't even know I had it. Oh, I don't... There's a way to use the compass? What? Holy balls, look at that mount. For real, there's a way to use the compass? Yeah, it doesn't matter now, but... Well... I don't know if we're using the same compass in the next zones, because the next zones also, you have to unlock ether. The ether currents. So maybe I'll try to do it when I go to the next zone. Where's she at? Where's she at? Matoya? Oh, what a surprise. Well, what secrets have you come to extract from me this time? That's right, that's the only time we come here. I'll send a screenshot through Discord in a sec. Okay, thank you. Though it pains me to admit it, your words strike close to the mark. We humbly ask that you grant us entry to the Antitower, that we might use it to seek a friend who we believe has been transported to the ethereal sea. And who told you I could do such a thing, I wonder? The tower was abandoned to its magical keepers 15 years ago. They have the run of the place now. It is no different to you, then by all means. If that is no different to you, then by all means. Is that all? I felt sure you would seek to dissuade us from our course, given your role as custodian. Role? Hardly. The Forum foisted the title on me. During the Exodus, every entrance to the Antitower was sealed, save one. Hey, cat, you cannot be sitting there. My role consists of making sure no one with ill intent sneaks through it. Such was the Forum's final order to me. Well, I can remove the wards right now. Will you be going or not? Yes, we'd like to go. We will, Master Matoya. We will do whatever it takes to find Minfilia. We'll see about that. Fire can go. Take the magicless rogue too if you like. He's no use to me. The rest of you will stay and work, and I'll hear no argument. Those are my terms. Ooh, it's gonna be me and Thancred. And I should be delighted to accompany you. Lead the way, Fire. Oh, I am also delighted, Thancred. Thancred, no. Y'shtola. Y'shtola's cock-blocking. Your etheric flow has been compromised. Do not deny it. To venture into an environment so thick with ether, so close to the ethereal sea, would be to risk further impairment. Or worse. But Minfilia could be in there waiting for us. And you could die. And for what? If she's waiting beyond, Fire will find her. Trust in her. Have faith. Damn it all. That's right, damn it all. Bring her back to us. You're not coming? Okay. Ooh, a dungeon! Excellent. Ooh, that should check off one of the ones on my list then. On my little, listy there. I just want to repair all my gear real quick. All right. What was the name of the one that we were trying to get? That we were gonna do? Shit, I forgot already. The Antitower. There it is. The Antitower. Yeah, I have the compass, but I didn't know that you had to actually, like, use it. Oh, shit. Yeah, use. Nice. Whoops. Thank you for sharing that, though, Darkness. Much appreciated. Eight-minute timer. Okay, okay. So let's see what other... Well, I think we're probably gonna have to, like, spawn back in here anyway, right? What quest do you got? Should you choose to undertake this quest, you will receive no guidance from the journal or the duty list. You will need to read the text carefully and decipher the clues to determine your next course of action. Ooh, that sounds fun, doesn't it? Like a puzzle? Nam on skis, Eggle wonk, swish swish a roo. But if you desire my knowledge, you must first grant me my heart's desire. Nothing fascinates me more than ether. Streams of it go round and round the world like a great tangle of ribbons. When one rides such a stream, where will one end up? I often engage in such musings. But even as I muse, I frighten myself silly. For instance, what if I were to arrive at my destination only to find that there is no dust to sweep? Can you imagine a worse fate? Of course you can't. You're not a broom, but I am. And I require a safety measure, something that will point the way home no matter where I find myself. A signpost for ethereal travel, as it were, sparkly, glowy, angularly. Such signposts used to be commonplace in Charlayan. Can you find one and bring it to me? I will share my knowledge with you. That's an interesting quest. Sign in Charlayan. I gotta write it down so I don't forget. That looks so cool, doesn't it? What the? Well, this one should be fun. Yeah, the compass shows distance in the top on the top of direction. Oh, that's pretty neat. I never thought to use it. I just stumbled across them and then, or used a website for the rest. Wow, that was a pretty neat looking thing that dude did. I wonder if you could fall off. Well, you know what? I don't really want to find out. Actually. God damn it. I'm a frog. I am still a frog. What did I do to deserve that? I do nothing. You travel up the staircase. Only to go back down the staircase. You know, I have to say, like, I'm usually not a fan of dungeons. Like, I usually get really upset if I have to do dungeons or depend on, like, pugs. And so far, I have not been upset at all running any dungeons. There was one where there was a toxic person in it, but it was not bad at all. And these are very forgiving. Oh, we're all ready to go and there's still one more. That's pretty funny. Oh, we weren't supposed to do something with those Stardusts. But we sure didn't. Okay, good. I see the person that got targeted is like hiding behind them. Okay, cool. So now I know. In the future. Excuse me. Although, that is not what I wanted to do, but that's okay, that's fine. That's fine. I mean, I guess I could need that, right? We are obliterating this dungeon. Beep. No, not me. Attack of the tank. Whoop. Oh, that's creepy. We are Cabrina, adorable dolls, terrible dolls, yip ho ho. Yeah, creepy. Oh, God. Holy shitballs. I don't know what the fuck is going on. Oh, okay. Girl, I did nothing. think I was supposed to turn around from that. This is fine. We will miss it again the next time anyway. Wow, she's beating our ass right now. I think I died right at the tail end of that. Oh god, that is big ass scary doll. Holy shit, right? There was 6 of them we fought first, and then it was crazy. Oh, I didn't die. Nice. What's this? Ooh, agreed. That was creepy. Try it on. Oh, you bet your ass I'm gonna try it on. I just need to get out of this thing first. Is that a new crystal?
Feel. Think.
That doesn't sound like Heidelin. That sounds like somebody making fun of Heidelin. Or Heidelin. Whatever her name is. Oh, I guess it really is her.
Time and space hast thou journeyed unto me, as I knew thou wouldst.
They changed her voice again in the from the first one to the expansion. Is that Minfilia?
The word of the mother. We, who were once called Minfilia. Much time hath passed for thee since the bloody banquet, since I hearkened to her word.
Her eyes look funny,
Mother.
and I don't know.
Heidelin guided me towards Y'shtola and Thancred, that I might be swept up in their flow and delivered unto the ethereal sea. There, adrift and alone, her voice silent once more, I prayed for those we had lost, for those we can yet save. To her I would make an offering.
I feel like she's not coming back with us.
With one voice, one will, one word. Unto thee we bequeath the most precious of gifts, the truth which lieth at the heart of this world. Thus do we beseech thee once more. Hear, feel, think.
Okay. I'm thinking and feeling you're not coming back with us. I'm hearing it too, I think.
Before there was life, in the depths of the ethereal sea, light and dark did once dwell as one. But the darkness coveted power, and the balance was broken. Thus was I forced to banish him unto the distant heavens, to forever remain apart, A moon bound. In sundering the star did we cry out, and the barriers twixt planes chanced to falter. Across 10 and 3 were we then divided. Reflections of the source, each possessed of a shard.
Okay.
Zodiac longeth to be made whole. For his restoration, for his resurrection, his servants labor without cease. They seek to tear down the barriers which surround the source. Thus do they rejoice in their ardor, in your calamities, for each marks a rejoining.
A rejoining of what? I wish they wouldn't speak in riddles and just like A plus B equals C.
7 times have they succeeded. 7 times hath the darkness grown stronger. 7 times have I failed. The Asians cannot be suffered to continue. This is my final.
They always be on some quadratic formula type beat, right? Oh god.
The crystal's power is all but spent. With what remains, I will return you to the shore of the ethereal sea. Blessed children, go forth and seek. Seek.
Seek what? What does that mean, though? Oh, my boo's running up to me. Look at him. Hey, Thancred.
12. Did you find her? Did you find Minfilia?
Yeah. I'm fine, by the way, Thancred. Thank you. It's alright. He'll come around. He'll come around.
The word of the mother. I'm not sure I understand.
Me neither, Alphino.
Nor am I. Cryo?
As unbelievable as it sounds, I see no reason to doubt her. The word's tale. No one was more sensitive to the will of Hydaelyn than Minfilia.
That's true, she was...
If Hydaelyn has grown so weak that she can barely make herself heard, it is not hard to see why Minfilia, having joined with her, might struggle to maintain her own form.
What? Why would she need to maintain her own form? Are you saying she's gone?
I think so.
But that cannot be! Not now. Not after all we have accomplished. We were meant to usher in the dawn's light together.
She threw herself on the fire to fuel your dawn's light, boy. You'll just have to usher it in on your own.
Poor Minfilia.
Must you be so ungentle?
Right? could be a smidge nicer with those words.
Tell me about the Scions, boy.
Please don't do it in the cutscene, though. Just
The Scions of the Seventh Dawn lay before Eorzea's salvation. Whenever the realm is threatened, be it by Primal, Ascian, Garlean, or any other, we take up arms in her defense, that all in Eorzea may live to see a brighter tomorrow.
I refuse to believe that Minfilia is gone to us forever. Maybe temporarily.
And that's very noble of you. But in chasing after these lofty goals of yours, you seem to have lost sight of some basic truths. To win a war, you must be willing to do whatever it takes. To fight, to kill, and if necessary, to die. The path you've chosen is paved with the dead. Walk it with your eyes open, or not at all.
So she is gone.
I know the truth of which you speak, and have from the first. If the Ascians will go to any length to resurrect their god, then we must needs be as committed to our cause, to unmask them and their schemes, and to crush them both utterly. Come, there is much to be done.
Yes, of course.
How sad. I wonder though if maybe like if Hydaelyn gets a little bit stronger, she'll be able to like restore Minfilia.
Thancred, wait!
He's mad. Let him go. Let him go.
No, this is all wrong.
Danny get a break and go back to the dark side. No, he won't. I'm here for him. I will be his shoulder to cry on. She's not coming back, is she? We're gonna go with what she did was the best. I know that, I do. To give all for her beliefs was ever her way. So will we as we must. What greater calling could there be than to stand against the dark as defenders of the light? And yet, where does it end? The sacrifice, the loss. I feel you, Elfino. I must ask that you not breathe a word of this to any of the others at the Rising Stones, especially... What are we calling her? Filet mignon? Filet? I will brief Tataru on what we have learned, as well as Urianger. He may have insight into what the word told us. As for you, Fire, after all that you have done, I would say that you have earned a rest. They always say this right before they give me some gigantic task that involves 24 other players. But speaking of well-earned rewards, I received a missive from Sir Amaric while you were away. 'Twould seem he is planning a ceremony of some sort and would like you to attend. He did not divulge the details, preferring instead to explain in person. Mayhap you should pay him a visit. What do you think? Some shittery is gonna happen and people are gonna attack? Probs. Yo, try on that robe. Oh yeah, that's right, that's right. That new one that we just picked up, right? Actually, let me learn my new pet. Alright, where was it? It was this one? Ooh, look at that! I have a satchel of flowers. Yeah, imagine if I dye it black or maybe even dye it white, like what it would look like. Ooh, hold on, we could do that. We could look. Wait. I thought I could. It won't let me dye it. You can like, you can look right there, Tryon. I don't think I can dye it. Because when I right click, now right click it. Now right lick it. Okay, hold on. This isn't an ASMR channel, Darkness. It won't let me right click it. Yeah, can't dye it. But still, it looks really nice. There's a nice little like dragon thing there on the our left but her right arm. And then over here we've got like a little whatever the hell. Yeah, it's very nice. I shall keep it. Where are we going? We're going to the Forgotten Night. Let's go. Forgotten Night. Wow, I definitely ran the wrong way. There we go. There we go, we good. I wonder how his recovery from his knife... Why is this dude glowing? From his stab wound is going.
A pleasure to see you again, my friend. I take it you received our invitation.
No, I just showed up out of the blue. Of course I received your invitation.
You of all people should be present.
Present for what? See? For what?
When the true brothers of the faith seized control of the vault, I feared the worst. Yet in adversity were we blessed with the promise of peace between man and dragon, through Vidofnir's timely rescue of an innocent child. Timely, I say, though miraculous or providential might better describe the event. The gods themselves could not have devised a more fitting symbol of hope.
Right? That was pretty
Needless to
epic.
say, could scarce let such an opportunity pass us by. Which is why I set about making formal arrangements for a peace conference between our peoples.
Uh-huh, go on.
You and yours have done more to bring us together than any, and it is only right that you attend.
Thank you, Amaric.
But I confess that is not the only reason I would be glad to have you there. Given Nidhogg's implacable opposition to the peace, it is possible that he and his followers may attempt to disrupt proceedings, in which event your presence would be a comfort to all in attendance. Pray understand, I have no wish to invite the Worm's ire. But if our fractured nation is to heal, if we are to move forward as a people united, then we must do whatever is necessary to bring about lasting change.
You're right, you're right. Oh, damn. You alright?
Tis nothing. Tis nothing. Lucia cautioned me against giving vent to my passions, lest my wounds reopen.
Yes.
It has not been easy reaching out to our opponents in Ishgard, many of whom sympathized with the actions of the true brothers. But in so doing, we have limited the influence of the Zealots. The people are ready, my friend. This conference must go ahead.
Yes, it must. It must.
I knew you would understand. The conference will take place on the border of Ishgardian and Dravanian territory in Falcon's Nest.
Okay.
Lucia is there seeing to the final preparations even as we speak. Pray join her at your earliest convenience. 'Twould not do for the guest of honor to arrive late, after all.
Ooh, I'm the guest of honor. Do I get a special outfit, please?
Oh, and one more thing.
Oh, here's my outfit.
A drink.
Ugh.
We should make time for one. Once the conference is concluded, I mean. By my reckoning, 'tis long overdue.
Emmerich, I'm spoken for by Thancred. He is. He's shooting his shot. He better than Fanny, low-key. I don't know. I need to see him rugged with an eye patch. That chin, though, that Fanny has. Alright, Falcon's Nest. Where is a Falcon's Nest? Sharper, running shit, taller than your character, a beast. I don't know, but he's kind of a bitch. Like, I feel like, so Emmerich got stabbed in the gut and he literally like dropped. Fanny, I feel like he would have said something smart. The Lord Commander said you would come, Fire. Then he would have died. Probably. He probably would have died. As you can see, preparations for the conference are proceeding apace. Mark well the curtain above. That is quite a curtain. It conceals a relief that will be unveiled during the conference. The Masons labor day and night to see it finished on schedule. Sir Emmerich wanted a symbol with which would endure long after this conference is concluded. I think he'll be pleased with the result. It's not my war, but I made it mine, and to see it draw closer to a resolution fills me with a strange hope. His faith is infectious, is it not? His certainty that we can be better than we are. Forgive me, I'm rambling. You must be tired from your journey. Go rest. I will not keep you. Her and Emmerich should get together. If you would rather not take a rest, then why not take a walk around Falcon's Nest? Make your presence known to the people and so forth. In addition to those who have come from afar and wide to attend this ceremony, you may meet Lords Artie and Emmy, who have graciously volunteered their services. They should be glad to see you. Now, if you'd excuse me, I must needs return to my duties. I really don't want to see Artie. I mean, Emmy. Redwald! I'm so glad to see that the rumors were true. Well met, Mistress FFXIV, and fear not, I've no intention of begging your aid with this or that. Everything appears to be in order. My only lingering concern is that one of the convictors might not have been informed of our plans. As I recall, Vidofnir may pass directly over their encampment. The last thing we need is a glory-seeking nobleman attempting to slay a Dravanian ambassador to a peace conference. You said you had nothing for me to do, but you definitely made it sound like something for me to do. Do you know when everything's set to begin? I wasn't sure how many might come, so I thought it best to come early and find a spot with a great view. When I heard that Sir Emmerich was planning to make a speech, I knew I couldn't miss it. I mean, the man risked his own neck to rescue those hostages. How often do we get heroes like that in this day and age? I'm just gonna stare at him for a second. Excuse me. And he's more than a fighter, too. He's a thinker, he is. He's got plans to better our lives, to change things, and he'll do it by the Fury. Me and my friends and family, we all believe he can do it. That's right, fuck me. Never mind. Just the Warrior of Light. Bloody exciting, isn't it? Not just peace with the dragons, but with all them heretics besides. Don't misunderstand. We've all got a healthy fear of being bathed in dragon fire. That being said, the heretics did far more to hinder our efforts here in the past, so hearing that we're close to a reconciliation comes as a great relief. Ooh, I haven't seen a green one. That looks neat. Artie! Oh, buddy, oh, pal. How much has changed since we fought alongside each other in the vault? If you had told me then that we would soon be hosting a peace conference, I would have thought you a naive fool. Yet here we are preparing to make that fantasy a reality. Ah, and here I am, laboring to make it so. Lord Artie, if I may. Certainly, First Commander. How may I be of service? Oh, the shittery music is on. Some of the convictors are refusing to stand down. The majority were willing to do so, but a small party have instead pledged to engage any Dravanians bound for Falcon's Nest. Theory take me, they would defy Sir Amaric's commands. If they dare attack Vidofnir, it will not come to that. But to see that it does not, we must needs hasten to their encampment. They should be far more reluctant to oppose us were a Lord of House Fortemp present. I understand completely. Let us depart at once. But ere we do, I must ask, would you look after Emmy while I am away? Ugh. Of all the things to ask me. As you know, he has ever been an impulsive, changeable child, but recently he seems to have been suffering from a bout of melancholy. I thought to lift his spirits by having him assist with guard duty, a simple but honorable charge, unlikely to expose him to danger given the presence of so many other knights. Alas, he has taken no interest, and I fear he may abandon his post in my absence. All I ask is that you keep an eye on him until I return. Exhausting thought that may be. 100% exhausting. Thank you, my friend. I promise we will not be long. Sure, I'll babysit Lord Emmy. I'm rather busy at the moment, old girl, guarding this tavern, as it were. Oh, I see now. Already thought I might be derelict in my duties, eh? The nerve of my brother to question my dedication. But since you're here, mayhap I can put you to proper use. The wasteland beyond the walls must be kept safe for travelers. Yet I have been forbidden from leaving Falcon's Nest. It wouldn't do for our esteemed guests to be devoured by wolves, oh no. Yet that is precisely what will happen if we do not cull the roaming packs. Your map, if I may? Right there. Those are the points our scouts marked for patrol. I'll leave you to it, old girl. Come, Honoroit. I must return to my rounds. A knight does his rounds with with a little servant running behind him. Oh dear, do be careful, my lady. Where are we going? So what do you think? Do you think Emmy is doing some bullshit? Or Artie is doing some bullshit? I feel somebody's doing some bullshit. We have yet to figure out who in power was doing something nefarious. Aw, oh, shitballs. I did not mean to get you involved. Ice Sprite. Somebody always on fuck shit, right? Somebody, you just don't know who. Did you just call down a laser beam from the sky? Maybe. I'll show you the skill. I think I know which one you're talking about. I gotta wait for this to fill up. Hold on, Mr. Wolf. Oh, shit. I'm not gonna be able to do it. Yep, that one. Do your rotation again. That was wild. Right? It is pretty cool. And it's an AoE when I do that. So when I use this skill, the Dreadworm Trance, it gives me 15 seconds of a reduced spell casting time by 2.5 seconds. So I could just cast like the Better Ruin over and over and over again. It becomes like an instant cast. But this one, Death Flare, I can use it, but this has to be active and then it blows the rest of the time. And Death Flare is that laser beam thing. And what it does is it hits the first enemy for 400 and everything around it 50% less of the hit. So if it hits them for 400, they get hit for 200. But everything around it. So it's like an AoE bomb. I love it. And it's a beautiful effect. FFXIV, Wolf's Bane, it pleases me to inform you that I have completed my rounds and that all is well in Falcon's Nest. Oh, and there was a grizzled fellow looking for you. You know, the one who made the arsonist confess. Clever that. Ooh, Thancred's looking for me! Thancred, was it? He was asking after you. Anyway, once I noticed the garish weapons he was sporting, I deemed it a waste to leave him be. I dispatched him to an area I neglected to mark on your map. Yes, this one. If you hurry, he might still be there. I'm coming! I may step into a caster eventually. Ooh, yep. You should. I do want to dabble in every class just a little bit. Just a little bit. Which actually, speaking of that, I unlocked every single class that I could. Like, I couldn't unlock warrior because I have to be... I can't remember which one. Like, I have to be one of the other classes. I have to get to level 30. And there was a whole bunch that I had to get to level 30 before I could unlock the class. The other class. But I unlocked everything that was possible for me to unlock right now. That red mage action. Gonna get on Gunbreaker when I get to 60. Yep, I have Gunbreaker open, I think, now too. Fancy meeting you here, Fire. I'm actually really interested to see what Dancer looks like. 'Twas fortunate I came when I did. These two would not have fared well against the wolves on their own. The young lord wasted no time in taking advantage of you, did he? And me, I suppose. Let us return to Falcon's Nest. Let's see what other thrilling tasks he may have for us. Thancred, I just got here. Damn it, Thancred. He seems unwilling to chat with me. Just checking something out. Okay. Oh, I was gonna say, I can't ride my chocobo here. I'm pretty sure I can. Somebody in my Discord tagged me. So they're releasing a Final Fantasy XIV cookbook. Say what? Ah, and there you are, a pair of gallant heroes if I ever saw them, comrades in arms, reunited at last. By your selfless sacrifice, have you guaranteed the safety of our many guests? On behalf of Ishgard, I thank you both. And with that, there is naught left to do but to enjoy our well-earned respite. Oh, you know what? I meant to check this to see if I got it. Did I complete any of these? Oh, I did. I completed this one. Excellent. I got a little cake sticker. So now I just have to make sure I do as much of this stuff as I can before Tuesday. Yeah, deadline 8/24/21. So what's today? Today is the 15th, so I have until not this Tuesday, but next Tuesday. Oh, that's beautiful. Plenty of time to get it done. Emmy seems rather pleased with himself. Oh, and this should, of course, go without saying, but let's keep those last few favors between us, yes? Artie wouldn't understand. Right, then, the first floor of those barracks has been converted into a tavern for the duration of the conference. Why don't you go and have something to eat? For once, a suggestion with which I would agree. Go on ahead, Fire. I'll join you anon.
Welcome, welcome. Find yourself an empty seat and I'll be with you in a moment.
Okay. I will do that. Bring me something yummy, girl.
Cold out, isn't it? Here, a mug on the house. Let's get some colour back in them cheeks.
That's a big mug. I need one of those for my cups of coffee in the morning.
Freed food will be a bit longer than usual. We've got a lot of hungry folk to feed, what with the conference and all. Oh, so many people with cause to celebrate. To think there could be peace in our time, after all them years of fighting.
That one guy sitting right there looks like one of those warriors of darkness, doesn't he?
When I heard about the conference, I knew I had to come. I knew I had to be here, to do my bit.
What's your bit?
My husband, he died fighting the dragons, you see. And here we are, about to break bread with him.
Ooh, she's not happy.
You were right, my friend. You look tired. Reckon you could do with a good long rest?
Ooh, she poisoned me.
After all you've done, I say you're dead.
I got, yeah. This bitch. Oh, shit balls.
This was never your fight.
I don't like her. I'm not tipping her. She's a horrible waitress.
My son. They told me he walks in Hallone's halls. Him and the rest of his unit.
They told me the same.
Aww.
I expect they think it's comforting.
I don't think it is.
Every time I come, I cry. I cannot bear to remember, but to forget would be 1,000 times worse. Yet that is what they would have us do. Accept this truth for the sake of peace. Bury the past and look to the future.
Glassdoor review's gonna be crazy on her. Yeah, they are. Waitress poisons everyone.
My flesh and blood. My heart.
Is this it? We're the only ones with the courage to oppose this madness? Cowards, a lot of them.
I mean...
They think only of the prize, of the peace Sir Emmerich promises them. They know in their hearts it's a lie, but they go along with it anyway, desperate fools. But not I. Not I!
You guys want to continue the freaking war?
I see the worm that killed my brother in my dreams every night, and I will not rest until he lies broken at my feet. Him and every last one of his accursed kin.
All this nonsense about Kings of Eld, as if I care what they did or didn't do. Makes no difference to me and mine. Have the dragons sued for peace in 1,000 years? Are they bollocks? It's a bloody ruse is what it is, and Sir Emmerich and the rest of them bloody fallen for it.
Oh, ruse by the dragons?
But what can we do? They believe, and naught we can say will ever change their minds. Whether we like it or not, man and dragon will come together at Vulcan's Nest, and all will be forgiven. Forgiven and forgotten.
As it should be. Jesus. Like, I get where they're coming from. They lost loved ones, but still.
I will not let that happen.
Oh.
They will remember the true face of the enemy. I will show it to them. And we will rise up against them once more.
And have another 1,000 years of war. You are the worst.
Hey! Hey! This is no time for napping.
Oh my god, am I gonna open my eyes to see Thancred? Yes!
Do you have your wits about you? Good. Come with me. We have a crisis on our hands.
Do you have your wits about you? Did they poison more people?
Hear me, brothers and sisters. Do not be fooled by the honeyed words of the Dravarnians. The peace they promise is but a prelude to slaughter.
I doubt that, but okay.
Remember your husbands and wives never returned from war. Your children torn apart by fang and claw. All your loved ones shown no mercy. Does not your heart cry out for vengeance? Your blood boil at the injustice. Remember the face of your enemy, brothers and sisters. Remember it, and strike back!
Okay. Emmy, shut your mouth.
You there! Don't just stand around gawping! Do something, man! Stop her!
Okay, good choice.
Yes,
good choice.
yes, my lord.
Oh, that's just gonna make her a martyr if you hit her.
See here the true nature of the Highborn. With lies and deception they lead us to our doom. And dare we raise our voices in dissent? Death is our reward.
It's a warning shot.
This is the choice they have given us, brothers and sisters. Death by dragon's fang, or death by nobleman's command. Death to all we hold dear. I spit on your choices, noblemen! You will take no more from me! No more! No more!
Well... At least she didn't fall down. Like, I feel like that would have been worse.
What have you done?
You told him to do something. You didn't exactly stop him after the first shot.
I only did as you ordered, my lord.
That shot, not so much. Ooh, you about to get your ass beat, Emmy. You better run.
I gave no such order. I did not. I never meant for anyone to...
Run like the coward you are. Damn. Thancred? I dare say that could not have played out any worse, given that the First Commander and Lord Artie are not here to take control of the situation. I spoke with a messenger who said they would be returning shortly, but until they do, naught will be done. Lord Emmy has retreated to the barracks and is refusing to speak with anyone. Therefore, it falls to us to ensure that order has been fully restored. Come, let us walk the streets and speak with the people. Yes, let's walk the streets, Thancred. He left me. Again. My wife and I fell while fleeing with the others at first. The Cherugians tended to our bruises afterwards. Those mad fools have ruined everything, and for what? Alright, that's good, that's good. Seem for the cause, like for the end of this war. How about you? How do you feel? They were wrong to resort to violence, but when I heard her speak, her words were as a dagger in my heart. Who are we to decide that enough is enough? That their calls for justice can never be answered? With this, will this be the end of it, or will there be others like them and the true brothers? I do not want to bear steel against my kinsmen ever again. I do not know if I even can. Oh boy. Kind of going half and half right now. I'd heard the rumors that the young lord was a drunken fool. What imbecile thought it would be a good idea to let him have the run of Falcon's Nest? Well, I say him and Sir Amaric take their bloody change and shove it up their arses. I'll not be taken in by that rot again. Not looking good. Not looking good. 2 for 3 against. 2 of 3, sorry. Well, what say you? It's not looking good, Thancred. So the violence has passed, but the people are far from recovered. That is to be expected. For the moment, it appears that no innocents were harmed by the guards. The blame for all casualties can be placed squarely upon the protesters. Nevertheless, the people will not soon forget the image of a young lordling ordering the public execution of an unarmed protester. One whose words resonated with the hearts of many. Excuse me, just taking a drink. After all, who among us has not lost loved ones? Ooh. Darkness, a katana. Kind of boring, though. No sparklies or anything like that. Yeah, it's weak. Lord Artie and the First Commander should have returned by now. To the tavern, then. Their first order of business will be to speak with Lord Emmy, and I somehow doubt that he has moved an ilm since last we saw him. Lucia! My apologies, Fire. I bear full responsibility for this debacle. There will be time for that later. I, for one, am more concerned about picking up the pieces. What do we do now? According to initial reports, the protest was orchestrated by the young woman whom Lord Emmy ordered shot. She and her conspirators infiltrated Falcon's Nest, posing as servants and guests. Several were taken alive, others resisted and were struck down. Still others took their own lives. Our forces suffered casualties as well, but by the grace of the Fury, no civilians were seriously injured. Still more remarkably, the ringleader yet lives, for the time being at least. The chirurgeons are doing what they can for her, but she may not live through the night. Given their impeccable timing, it is like that the convictors who drew us away from the hamlet were in league with the protesters. Accordingly, we have detained them for questioning. I'll be sworn that these villains spent as much effort plotting the failure of this peace conference as we did its success. Well, if the mood of the hamlet is any indication, theirs have been the more fruitful labors. In the wake of the protest, the people seemed disillusioned. Yeah, I talked to some people and all of them talked shit. You spoke with them then, I see. Sir Amaric placed his trust in me. It will be difficult to explain what has happened here. I mean, I don't think it's difficult. Remember how far we have come, First Commander. The people's faith may be shaken, but we convinced them before, and will do so again. If we can but find a means to remind them, to show them once more the promise that change holds for all, then this tragedy too shall pass into the past. We must pray that you're right. Nevertheless, for the time being, I've no choice but to suspend the peace conference pending Sir Amaric's final decision. Under the circumstances, I cannot leave Falcon's Nest. Fire, will you deliver my report to the Lord Commander in my stead? Yup. You got it. Get up, Emmy. You're going with her. I'm not taking him. Go on without me. Yes. I was not asking. Damn it. You'll answer for your actions in person. Is that clear? Yes, my lord. Come, Honorat. Your manservant is not here. In fact, I've not seen him for some time. Uh-oh. I could have sworn he was... Uh-oh. Now we gotta go save the manservant. Where he be? Where he be? See him? Do we see him? There he is. Is he dead? Oh my god, it looked like he was lying face down. Oh no, okay.
Onawa!
Anora?
No, no! What have they done to you? Onawa! Onawa!
Is that you, my lord? You seem rather flustered.
Because of you, you imbecile! What in the seven hells happened to you?
Why would you call him an imbecile?
My apologies. Some few of the guests expressed a wish to leave, and I implored them to stay.
And?
It would seem they took issue with my request.
Oh, gods forgive me. If I had only been more careful with my words.
Do not blame yourself, my lord. I know. I know that you and your brother have Ishgard's best interests at heart.
We do.
That poor woman. She lives in the past, clinging to the memories of the lost. But the future holds so much promise, so much joy. And you know that better than any.
Does he though? Like, he seems to be oblivious. Did he just die? What the?
Calm yourself. The boy will live.
Oh.
But it's imperative we get him inside and into the care of a Chirurgeon without delay.
Jesus. I thought he died too. I was like, what? He doesn't look that bad off.
Oh, we were so close. Why does it all have to fall to pieces? Don't they want to live in peace? Don't they want to be happy? We all want the same thing, and still it falls to pieces. Tell me, what was I supposed to do? Someone, anyone, tell me, what was I supposed to do?
Not kill her.
Stop looking to others. You make your choice and you live with the consequences.
That's right. You about to talk some shit to him, right?
What? And what would you know about consequences? You who always know just what to say and just what to do. Your every deed is greeted with a round of applause.
Emmy? Yes! Yes! God, that little shit had it coming for like days.
You know nothing about me. I have fought tooth and nail for the people I hold dear. Done everything in my power to save them. And I have failed. Learn to live with it. I have.
I'm sad. That little shit deserved it though. He really did. Jeez. What you get for calling me old girl all the time? Fucker. I really wanted to be the one to punch him though. I may have overreacted, but it needed to be done. He was becoming hysterical. He sure was. I understand the desire to look for reasons, for excuses, to convince yourself you had no choice. But the past is the past, and there is naught to be gained from reliving your mistakes. I know this, but he... But he what? You know what? Let's check out this sword. We'll take the money. I have no desire to wait for the lordling to emerge from his puddle of self-pity. We have important matters to attend to in Ishgard. Okay, so we're gonna be going back to tell what's-his-face about what happened. Ishgard. There? Okay, let's see. It is almost 8 o'clock. Okay. I am going to stop here before we get vested into a gigantic other piece of the story. I'm gonna start loading up a raid. I have to work tomorrow and I have to drive into the office, hence why I'm, ending a little bit earlier than my normal time. I have to be up at like 5:30, so. That being said, thank you very much, everybody who is here chitting and chatting, and you know, the resubs and all that stuff. Obviously, I very much appreciate it. I am 1 follower away from 100, so if there's somebody in here lurking that has not followed and you don't mind just letting me squeak on over to that goal, I'd very much appreciate it. Remember, this week I have a birthday, Offspring's birthday, so Thursday I will not be streaming. Again, I will be doing it, I will be posting my schedule on Twitter, ! Twitter, or ! Discord. I'll also be posting it in there. We're gonna go ahead and raid Janella. We've raided her several times. She's playing Animal Crossing today. And then we will pick up this story tomorrow. Thanks again, everybody who is here chitting and chatting again. I love you guys. Thanks so much. And I will see you tomorrow.